This video is about solving quadratics by taking the square root. So what you need to know before we begin is what I mean by taking the square root. Now, the reason why we take the square root is because the square root is the opposite of x squared. Another thing that you need to know is that when you take the square root, you're always going to have two answers. And these two answers will be the same number, but one of them will be positive and one of them will be negative. So for instance, if I have x squared equals 49, I can figure out what x is by taking the square root. Now, because I took the square root symbol and the x squared cancel out and the x is left alone, and the square root of 49 is 7. But x could also be negative 7 because 7 times 7 makes 49 and negative 7 times negative 7 makes 49. Let's look at example 1. The equation says x squared equals 121. So I can simply take the square root of each side and I would be left with x equals 11 or x equals negative 11. Try number 2 on your own, pausing the video, and then check your answer. Now, the questions on the CFA won't be quite so straightforward. So let's look at question number 3. The quantity x plus 4, all to the second power, equals 100. Well, I'm still going to take the square root of each side so that I can get rid of this power 2. So my square root and my exponent cancel out, and I'm left with x plus 4 equals, well, the square root of 100 would be 10. But remember, whenever I take the square root, I also could have a negative value. So x plus 4 could also equal negative 10. Now I just need to solve each of these smaller equations. So subtract 4 from each side, and I find that x equals 6, or that x equals negative 14. Try number 4 on your own, pausing the video. Restart the video to check your answer. Now let's step it up just one more notch. Question number 5 is a little bit different because after my x squared, I have this plus 20. Now I cannot take the square root yet because my x to the power 2, or my exponent, needs to be by itself before I can take the square root. So to get that exponent by itself, I would have to subtract this constant term, or this 20, from each side. Now, since my exponent is by itself, I can take the square root of each side to finish this problem. So I'd find that x plus 9 equals 12, or x plus 9 equals negative 12. Solve each equation, and I find that x equals 3, or that x equals negative 21. Try number 6 and 7 on your own while you pause the video, and then restart the video to check your answers.